Give me that mic, fool, let me get a few things off the chest. I remember them student days put me to the test. Yes, actually, you could say.
Yo, what's up? This is the PT Portal Podcast. This is the podcast for PTs by PTs. We're bringing you relevant information and tangible things that are going to help your business in the PT industry. This is Derek, aka D Ruckus, aka Desert D, aka Himothy. Fuck.
No, what up? I appreciate it. But yeah, we're here to share some inside information on some things that we think don't get spent enough time on, so that you coming into the industry, or you're already in this industry and you're set up with the right skills and information to actually be successful in a pretty competitive industry, to be fair.
The way we're going to break this down is each podcast or each talk is going to come with a document and a module free to you guys to track through. If you're learning kind of a more structured way, that'll be available for download. If you have this, here is going to be a kind of casual conversation around some of that stuff. One, we're going to take you from the skills and habits you need to build a successful business all the way into sales and leading into mini sales, hopefully. The first thing that we're going to touch on today is learning or knowing your value. This is kind of where you structure everything around your PT business. For me personally, and I know we've had conversations that we're probably on the same track. If you know your value, the easier it is to sell that product. And if you believe in that product, the better you will be at selling it. If we're talking about value to start off with, I mean, most people and some people, even yourself, I know for sure, definitely I started off with this train of thought, but my thought process was, my value is that I'm so passionate about helping people. You hear that all the time. Why do you do this? Why are you in the industry? Because I'm passionate about helping people. But at the end of the day, your number one priority should be making money. 100%. If you don't make money, you don't get to help people.
Especially in those early stages, like you have a small window of opportunity, and I'm going to say this is probably a 95% of PT contracts, where you get that period where it's free rent, and then it like increments.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So you get that small window of opportunity to set yourself up to be somewhat successful and somewhat stable. Underutilizing that because you're so focused on trying to help people and not worry about money.
Yeah.
Puts you in a situation of a loss before you've even really started.
100%.
And I see that all the time.
Yeah. There's this looming like anxiety you can get from like having an empty calendar, eh?
Facts.
Bro, like my first like consultation, I remember moving up from Dunedin, getting in Christchurch, bro. I had this IC booked in. So I'm like, yo, this is obviously like, I've got to figure out how to sell this guy.
Yeah.
Well, I still even remember his name. His name's, I think his name was, yeah, maybe bleep that out because he might be watching. But, so like I go into obviously like this IC, and the night before I was like up with the, the Flex Fitness, the pre-screening form.
Yeah. I know.
So I'm just like mapping all that stuff out. Maybe just went through questions, and I just like was thinking of replies or answers that people would give. And I just literally wrote down why I could help them or how I could help them. Right. So thinking back, that was probably like my first ever script.
Yeah, true.
I guess, like looking back.
Yeah.
So like, I'm obviously like killing it. I think obviously it was pretty standard, but he wanted to lose weight. Yeah. He wanted to lose body fat, for whatever life. I'm probably in there giving him my like best like James Smith impression. Yeah. Probably like, bro, calories in versus calorie out. Yeah. Which is probably crack up. But anyway, I ended up selling him.
Yeah.
Sold him 3 sessions. Ended up upselling him 3 sessions.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, the only kicker is I've got to be up and away by 6:30. So we're going to have to start at 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, bet. Like 3 sessions mean.
Yeah. Like
I've just paid my rent.
Yeah.
The shit's easy. I'm like, I'm him. I'm probably like the goat of the shit.
I'm the greatest.
Like I am the greatest. Like this shit, I'm going to sell everyone today. Anyway, bro, book him in. I'll rock up 5:30, probably 5 a.m. to be fair for like this first session. I'm like super excited.
Yeah.
Get in. 5:30 rocks around. Bro's still not there. 5:35. Bro's still not there. 1:45, flick him a message. Yo, like making sure he's not been in an accident or something, because you just start thinking the worst. Text message doesn't send.
Damn.
Ring the bro. Phone number doesn't exist.
Damn.
Get out his form. Type up an email, like just like checking in, like whatever. Email doesn't send. So like this bro is just like, the bro just like
full scammed you.
Like full just like come in, gave me all the wrong information, booked in like 3 sessions, like a week.
Ghosted.
And just like ghosted me. Yeah. So like,
Damn,
anyway,
that's
like
crazy.
that's like if you have this like looming anxiety, and I know all PTs will experience this, like of just having or looking at an empty calendar.
Yeah.
Like you just don't have the ability to thrive, because all you're thinking about is like trying to make a sale.
Yeah.
Trying to make a sale.
Yeah.
And the reason we teach like knowing or learning your value first, so that when you go into these things or go into your first ICs, one, like I said, you have the ability to like sell that value if you know what that value is. And then if you believe in that value, it makes it easier to sell it. Yeah. So
I feel like a common thing from the mentoring stuff I've done in the past and work colleagues and things that you've talked to and helped out or whatever, the common thing that I noticed too, which finds it hard for these people to get a full understanding of their value, is you've just gone from being a poor ass student with no money, like grinding to get through week to week, paying off your, like getting food, and you know, you're in $40,000, $50,000 of debt, right? So like
your student loan or your study link has been stopped there. Like you don't have that to lean on.
Yeah. And so from now you're like, damn, you think you already instantly put yourself so low in society because you're like, you've got to get built back up again. So then it's so easy for your value to be very low. You believe, even though you've just gone to university, spent 4 years studying, or if you've gone to a course and you've done 12 months, doesn't matter which route you go about it, your value is the same because of how much you feel like you're behind. Does that make sense? So like, for example, a common problem was like when I was mentoring people, they would say to me like, when people tell me they can't afford it, I find it really hard to get past the objections.
Yeah,
and it's like
probably the number one thing, right?
Yeah,
I can't afford it.
And it's crazy. It's because they relate it to themselves because currently in their state, their value's low. They don't have that much money. They're grinding. So when someone says that they can't do it too, instead of believing in your value or your product or what you're trying to sell, you start like empathizing with this person and be like, yeah, nah, fair enough. You know what? I'm a bit the same at the moment. And that's such a big struggle for you to try and like get going.
That was a massive thing for me when I first started. I never had a personal trainer in my life. So I was going into this thing being like, how can I expect this person to pay for PT when I couldn't even do it? You know, like they're in the exact same, they're probably in the same financial position I was. Like, how can I? But to be fair, like if I had sat me in front of me and tried to sell me on PT, I probably would have got him over.
Yeah. Well, but to be fair, like that's how you've got to be thinking about it. Like, you've got to know that whatever situation anybody's in, whether they're financially stable or, you know, working week to week, paycheck to paycheck, or very, very, very free with money, no matter what the person is, no matter what the person is, what the situation is, or how much income or their life situation, you know that you are the better option to get this person to their goal. Yeah. You already know that if they've come in and they've wanted to book a consult in, they're like 50% of the way there and they still need help. That's pretty much them saying, without saying to you, oh, I probably need help. But how well are you, or how good are you at convincing them that you're the thing that gets them from A to B and in the smoothest line possible?
Yeah, 100%.
Like that's the thing that you have to remember in those early stages as well, is like they're like 40 to 50% of the way there if they've booked in a consult, because at least they've thought about it. Yeah. And that is half the battle. Yeah. If you're like floor walking people, that shit is way harder. Yeah. Especially in the early stages, right? If you've got no value.
The way that I look at it today is if like people aren't paying for the programming. People aren't paying for the program or the session. People are paying for the results of that program or that session. They're paying for what they're going to get out of it. So if your value is in linking the program and the sessions to the result. So like the better you can link that or learn how to link those things, the better your value is.
Yep.
So like I talk a lot about like with the PTs that I've helped about like what's a service and what's a value. So like a service, this is like things that most PTs or pretty much every PT will offer, right? They'll offer a session.
Yep.
If they're good, they offer a program.
Yep.
Not just like going in randomly and being like, yo, what do you want to train? Arms? You want to get big arms, eh? Shit, let's hit some curls. So like these are services that we offer.
Yep.
But because everyone offers these things, like they're not that valuable.
Yeah.
If you
can get them anywhere. You can get them literally anywhere.
You get them for free if you wanted to.
ChatGPT be giving you a program for free.
100%. And so like your value is in how well you can get them to their goals or link the program and link the session to the results. That's your value. So like if I say a service is a program, like everyone should offer a program. That's a service. Making sure that the program actually suits their lifestyle. It deals with their limitations, like circumvents their limitations. Maybe Sarah's got an ankle sprain. Yeah, she wants to lose weight. She's got an ankle sprain.
Sorry, Sarah.
Yeah. Get off that netball court, Sarah. Goddamn. Like, I should be in there, rather than just avoiding her ankle, I should be in there strengthening that ankle.
Facts.
You know, I should be
100%.
giving stability drills.
Yep.
But at the same time, I should be giving her these targets to hit to make sure that she's going to end up losing the weight she wants to lose.
Yep.
You know?
Nice.
So like your value is in the way that you'd write that program or how you'd present that program. It's not the fact that you're giving them a program, eh?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like your value also comes from within quite a lot as well. Like you need to think about like what you have to sit down and like have that conversation with yourself almost.
Yeah.
And think about what it is that you want to do. Like maybe you're not trying to help people get to their results, but maybe you want to benefit people's mental health. Yeah. Maybe you're trying to help people in a different factor. Maybe you're trying to give people a healthier relationship with their body. Maybe you're trying
100%.
to give, you know, like there are a lot of other things that you could be very valuable for. Yeah. Whether it's being someone to talk to, someone that gives good advice.
Absolutely.
We're just in the gym while this happens, right?
Again, it's like service. GPT can give you a program, but ChatGPT is not going to talk to you about your divorce.
Facts.
Or help you through your eating situation. Like it's just not going to do that, eh? So
no, exactly. And just creating value in all aspects or minimizing it into one. Whatever's going to help you get set up early is going to be the best option.
100%. Again, it's just service over here. This is something we all offer, and then the way that you handle that or present that service is your value, or should be like known as your value. The other thing, like again, going back to what we said before, like I know most people are going to say like, I'm doing this, or you might start off doing it because you're passionate about helping people, whatever. Like, but if you're leading with that, start a charity. Like if that's literally the thing that you want to do and you just want to help people and you don't care about anything else, there's plenty of other ways to do that. Eh? But if we learn your value, you're going to get way better at selling the product and then being able to help more people, because you have all these things that self-employed people have to pay for. Yeah. Like they don't really talk about that too much in your PT. So I don't know about you, but we talk a little bit about when we did our cert later, talked a little bit about point of difference and stuff, but I think it's so overrated. I think point of difference and value are two different things. Like your point of difference, people will go as extreme of being like, oh, I'm gonna wear fluorescent yellow every day because that's going to be different to what everyone else is doing and no one else has done it, and that's going to give me an image and that's going to allow people to relate back to me, right? But that doesn't give them any value. That doesn't show them how good you are or what you're trying to achieve. No one cares. Nah. Point of difference was something that was talked about a lot, but that's, to be completely honest, is only going to be important if you were like building a whole gym, not just being a PT. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if you're building like a franchise, you need a point of difference from like City Fitness versus Anytime versus Snap Fitness, because there are heaps of other competitors. But when you're in a gym atmosphere and you're a PT, you don't need that much point of difference. You just need to be able to sell someone a good product confidently. And help people reach their goals. And be like somewhat of a good cunt at the same time. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
that simple.
Yeah.
There's no point of difference. Every PT in the gym is going to get relatively the same amount of consults. And if you don't, then you probably should talk to your manager, because that's not how it should be run. It should be pretty consistent all the way around.
Yeah, which is something obviously we help PTs with, like as well, where like sometimes for whatever reason there's so much in-house stuff like between PTs, gym owners, gym managers. Like we're pretty lucky at Flex. We're like owner operated, so we get to deal with that stuff. But I think at Snap, I used to work at a Snap, right?
Yeah, it was similar, but
because you were owner operated.
yeah, we were. Yeah.
So my mate from Dunedin, who's a PT, like a pretty good PT, he worked at Snap, but they weren't owner operated. So any problems that he had to go through. There's 3 emails that have to be sent, you know, and then there's like two weeks before he gets an answer about it. Whereas
big corporate companies.
Yeah. So that will vary as well. Like, and that's just something that you have to navigate.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But like in terms of, back onto like the subject, in terms of like leads and stuff, you don't have to be different to Sarah, or you don't have to be different to Tom. You don't have to have a point of difference to, Isaiah, because you guys are all getting leads, but can you show them what your value is and how you're going to get them to where they want to get to?
Yeah, one thing when I did my dip in Dunedin, like this whole model was based off how to be a PT at Les Mills, Like their whole model was pretty much built off
ours was pretty much based off Snap,
they didn't really they didn't say it, but like for me, I just remember like they always used to talk about us, like, or me in particular, like having to be louder or smile more was always like a big thing. But like, this is not my personality. Like if I walk into a room and I'm smiling and like real loud, people are going to know like, what is like, that's not him. Like if I walked in like that, you'd be like, who's this fake ass? So like my value wasn't being like happy and smiley all the time. That just wasn't like part of my, like that wasn't the value that I give. My value was being able to break people's like barriers down because they feel a little more comfortable. Yeah. You know, I'm not like super chirpy or anything like that. I'm able to listen. Part of my value was like being able to like bring them down to my level and not make them feel so uncomfortable or intimidated. Yeah. And then figure out why they're actually here, because they want to lose weight, but it's hard to get that. They've just been through a breakup and they're like revenge bod mode. Yeah. Like if you can get that out of them, you're going to get way more out of them.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to get way, like so many steps closer to where they want to get to, right? Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'm like the same. When we were at Snap, it was always like say hello to every person that goes and comes in the door, say goodbye to every person that leaves, like to build a rapport and stuff. And like, to be honest, like little things like that, that's fine. But it's like, you know.
Do you know the funniest one though?
What?
The funniest thing is like, and like, this is just in general, like when you're in the gym, there's like certain people that if you walk past, like, you'll look at them and you'll give them this one. Yeah. You'll give them this one. You give them this one.
Not the.
You give them this one.
You're the fake ones.
You give them that one. But like after, my thing is, bro, like after you've done that once, then like you got to always do it again.
Yeah, yeah. You've got like a reputation to hold.
So I'm on the floor. Lisa's just come in. She's had like a terrible day at work. She's come in, we've planned to do a lower body session. Her hip's sore, she hasn't told me. I'm trying to figure that out on the fly. And then you walk past someone and they like smile at you and you like look straight through them because there's 10,000 thoughts going through your day.
Facts.
And now like this person thinks that I've just like ghosted them or ignored them. But that's just one
there's just so many things
that
like you take into consideration, especially like you go, let's say it's peak time, 5:30, 6 o'clock, every bit of equipment's being used. You're trying to do this one specific exercise to help Lisa with her bloody impinged hip. Yeah. You can't get any space. And then you're like, okay, what can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? And you're just walking through the gym with a blank face and everyone's trying to look at you and smile and say, hey, and all this. And you're like, but it's because shit's going on upstairs. You got to get through it, Trying to give Lisa the best experience possible and make sure you're going to help her get better today. And you try. I'm going to stand in the gym with 80 people and like please all of you by saying hey and smiling and waving at you.
I hate.
Sorry, bro, can't do that.
So like, again, like teaching PTs to kind of lean into the things that do actually make them. Yeah. If they come in and they they want to help people and they are confident that they can help people, their value is in getting that to cross over or translating to the client.
Yep.
What do you think your biggest value is, like, as a PT?
The only real unique thing is, I reckon, that probably adds my value, spending a little bit more time on the approach of managing your body, like getting your structural balance better, like spending a little bit more time working on niggles and things like that get overseen. Like, you get through this period, there was this gray area. This is what kind of made me go down this route in this industry, to be fair, because there's this gray area, right? Like, you have a niggle or an injury, or you have a serious injury, and you go to physio for like 8 to 12 to 16 weeks maybe, and they pretty much tell you to like stop gymming or like do real light stuff, just stuff that they've programmed for you, which is fine. But what happens after is those people are coming into the gym, the physio's going, okay, you're sweet to go, it's all good, like go and do whatever you want, and you're coming in, but you're still feeling like 60, 50, 60%.
Yeah.
And because there's no in the middle phase, there's no like, when you started feeling somewhat better, you should have done at least something to a certain point or threshold.
Yeah.
So like, just like, I feel like the value I bring is like helping people understand that factor, giving them knowledge and exercises to work through those stages so that people can get a better, I guess, all-round gym experience, like a better all-round balanced gym experience. Like, no matter how long you've been training or how little you've been training, every now and then something's going to come up and it's just not going to feel quite right. And it's just being able to put the processes in place for these people, my clientele, for example, or friends or people I know, to like manage that. Like, how do you start to bounce back from that faster so that that rehab or rehabilitation period is a lot shorter compared to if you were to not do anything for 8 to 16 weeks and then come back. Like, that rehab period can almost be twice as long.
Yeah, it's like you have so many clients come in with like these niggles and whether like their physio or even like an old PT has just been like, they may have had this injury for years. And
Facts.
all their old PT has done is just been like, okay, let's just stay off it. If it hurts, just stay off it. But like, your value is in like the rehabilitation. It's like not saying let's avoid it, because like you can't just do that for life. Like, the thing that kind of scares most of my clients is I'm like, cool, let's see what you can do then. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, well, if I don't know where you're at, how can I know that I'm making you better? So I might be doing like a simple test, like an overhead test or rotation test or something, and then I'll do a few different, I'll like attack it from a few different angles. So I might like, you know, stretch some areas out and then activate some certain muscle groups and then get them to do some movement pattern that's going to test their mobility or range of motion in that area. And then we'll go back and retest, and then they'll be like, oh my God, it feels way better. And I'll be like, this is the hard thing, is like, you got told to rest, but like when you're resting, you're never fully getting your shoulder or your knee or your hip back to 100%. So you're always going to feel like 70%. So then you always only push to 70%. So you go nowhere. You stay in the exact same spot. It's like the service versus like what the value is. Like, the service is, I'm going to give you a movement screen. We're going to figure out what's going on. The value is in how you apply that to like your clients. Like, I can guarantee that I'm going to give you the most value I know on that hip impingement. You know, like, because we've tweaked so many things and I've fixed so many hip impingements. That if it's not this, it's this. And if it's not this, it's this.
And half of the time, like, there's no book that is going to tell you this is exactly what's going to make you better. It's going to be a plethora of things. There's going to be so many different things you have to try, and it's different. Like, it's all going to come down to like movement patterns and like the way that specific joint moves. Yes, but what exercises does this person respond to better? There's all these different variations of different things that you can try. Easier, harder, middle ground. Like, you've got to go through all of them and find out the things that work for this person, or like this person finds the easiest to get them back to feeling 100%. It's not going to be the exact same thing per person. It's just the same as you write a program. We don't write the exact same program per person. So why would I attack a rehabilitation like that way as well? It doesn't make any sense. Right?
And if I'm in this consultation and I've fixed 10 other people's like hip impingements, when the 11th person comes in, I know what movement screens that I need to do. You know, I know like the kind of rehab that goes along with that.
Yep.
So the more confident I'll be in like trying to sell that as my product, that's my value.
Yeah.
So
And
if I know exactly what I'm doing, it's going to be so much easier to sell that product. Yeah.
And to be honest, like I would say like 90% of the time, that's normally what I go back to these days.
Yeah.
Is because I know, yes, long term, I'm going to get this person to their goals and they're going to be better and healthier and fitter and have a better relationship with food and, you know, blah, 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 all these things that come along with the package. But the thing that I know that I can improve like almost instantly is your impingement. I can make you feel better today. I can make you feel great in a week, and in a month, you're gonna feel that's gonna be the best your body's felt in years. I literally had this with a client I signed up just before Christmas recently. It's been 3 years since he like pulled or partially tore his rotator cuff, and I'm not gonna drop names. And within no, we don't do that. We'll
beep it up.
Within like a 2-week period, he was bench pressing more than he had ever bench pressed, and his shoulders felt stronger than they ever felt. Yeah. And that was because we attacked the problem rather than avoid it.
Yeah. So again, service value.
And this potentially puts me in a situation where me and him are going to have a great relationship now because he's going to have more niggles and he's going to know exactly who needs to come to him.
100%. He's going to associate that barrier that he had with you. You're the guy who fixed it.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my values, or something that I think is valuable to someone, is just like the translating what the science says into like the person.
Yeah.
Like we have to be able to go back and like analyze the research.
Yep.
To apply that, because it's changing so much that if you get left behind, you're left behind.
Yeah, constantly.
Like next thing you know, you're still in the gym, like telling your clients to do like external rotations, like with dumbbells.
Oh, I hate it, bro. Honestly, the one thing when the bro comes in, he's got chest day and he's doing these ones.
Say his name.
Guys,
say his name.
I don't know who it is. He's doing these ones. I'm
say
like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Watch a YouTube video or something, please.
Just like, I don't know, get your Instagram algorithm. Like,
honestly, bro.
Start looking at the things.
Why are you doing them?
Yeah. So like one of my values, or something that I pride myself on, is being able to break that stuff down, because no one wants to, like, your clients don't want to hear about freaking the research, that's not what they want to hear about.
No.
They want to know how you're going to take my shoulder from feeling sore and not being able to bench to feeling better and me being able to bench. And that's where that's where having that being personable comes into it as well. Like your value is in how you translate that to your clients.
Yep.
So you could break it down, make it very, very simple. But as long as they're reaching or like getting to the results, then they're not going to care. Like we're not scientist trainers,
Yeah.
Like we're personal trainers. Like it's personal.
Some of the people are gonna want to know the actual info.
All right, and if you don't have the answers,
bro, you are on the spot. And sometimes I might even stand there and make a word up, because you know what? They don't know
the quantum physics of your AC joint.
But for real though, like some of them are going to want to know the actuals, and that may be because they've got more experience, or they've got a better understanding of their body, or maybe other little things, right? Or they're just like, they just get interested by the stuff. And 90% of the time you should be able to pretty much explain it to them and make them feel like they learned something. But the other 85% of people are going to be like, just tell me why and what it's doing, and I'm happy. And you could be like, we're extending the knee to activate the quad from the knee joint. That's all we're doing. They're going to be like, okay. And you're like, sweet.
Bro, and the most simple way to do this is when you write your program, which you should be doing, you should be writing a block of training for your clients. And I don't care if that's Jenny who wants to be able to walk again, and you think that just doing box squats just randomly is going to help her do that, like being able to walk without pain. Like there should be an intention behind every single program that you write, and it should be a block of training. Yep. Whether you've had someone with the exact same goal or like similar goals, and you're going back through and you know that this works, which is definitely a thing. Like we're not reinventing the wheel. That's a massive thing.
Yeah.
We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. If this works, we have to be able to make this work. But the key is making sure that it works for Jenny, and there should be a block of training always. And if you go into that, writing that program, you put, like, for me, there's always a massive circle around intention. And if you go into writing a program and everything branches off what the intention is, then anytime someone asks why you're doing it or how you're doing it, reasons why you're doing it, you just go back to what that intention is, right?
Facts.
Simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Write your programs.
Yes, please write your programs. And if you're unsure how to write a program, ask questions, ask people who have been doing it for longer, join the PTP, I don't know, whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
But like, I feel like that's another thing that comes up quite a lot as well in the early stages, which to be fair, I've witnessed firsthand is people come into the industry, right? Oh, I'm pretty big. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't need help. No. Yeah. I'm all good, thanks. I'll be sweet.
Yeah.
Bro isn't in the job in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like,
there's time and time again. The rotation is crazy.
Yeah. Like, take the ego out of it. Be open. Be a sponge. Take the information and ask for help. Watch what other people are doing. Learn, listen, watch videos, read books, read articles.
Upskill yourself. Like, it's a continuous, like, you should be continually like learning. Yeah. You should never be stagnant because people will start to find out. People will start to tell. Yeah.
And it's as simple as, like you said before, it's as simple as like structuring your algorithm so you're getting doctors and physicians and shit on your Instagram feed.
You won't bring up your For You page?
Bro, bet.
Let's go.
Bet.
Not the work account.
No.
Not the work IG.
No. We good. See? Growing massive hamstrings. For You page. I got some toe stuff, some ball stuff, bodybuilding, cars.
Get out the real IG.
That is the real IG.
That's your work account.
Bro, it's not. Look.
Dude, that's your work account.
Always. I mean, there's a few things in here, like sneakers and stuff, things that I enjoy on the side, basketball, hoops, cars. But most of it's fitness related. I follow like doctors and physicians and and like coaches and things that I used to like love their content and all that sort of stuff. And over the years, it has like narrowed down. Not because what the other ones were doing or saying were wrong, but because the ones that I'm like following or talking to or like watching videos, sorry, not talking to, but whatever, the information they're putting out now is way easier for me to understand and way faster for me to like click to. So I'm like, I don't need to watch this guy's video on this stuff and this guy and this guy and this guy. I'm like, that stuff kind of was confusing, but these people make it easy for me to understand. So I've just narrowed it down over the years, but all that stuff's on there for me for sure. Like that's what mostly my newsfeed is about. Bro, chill, bro. Chill.
On the work account. That's what it's about.
Gee, too many work accounts. But yeah, learn your stuff, know your stuff, be a sponge, listen, learn, ask questions, pay for advice. I did the same things.
I was I often think about this as well though. It's such a hard thing to know or know like what kind of value, especially going into like getting a mentor or something like that.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't do that. It's so hard to navigate, like you have these things and that's the tricky thing about like what people or the people that you follow on Instagram, maybe, because there are people on there that are going to tell you that their 6-week mentorship is going to make you or bring you up from making 30 grand a year to 100K plus, like that's not how it works. So
yeah, well,
that's like, also a hard thing to navigate too. Yeah, so I definitely didn't have a mentor when I first started. One thing I did have was a Joe Calso. That's one thing that I did have, and he's like, one of my best friends. So he came up a year early, and he kind of figured the stuff out. He's a very structured, like loves systems, like and protocols, and he essentially like, not that he was my mentor, but he was just like, this is what I do, and this is how I do it. And he's like, if this is how you want to run it, then like it works, like it obviously works. And I just like took that information that he gave me and just kind of ran with it. But I was just lucky enough to the gym that I went into was like it was a brand new gym. There was only one PT there at the time. So when I came in, like I had a bunch of consults and like, thanks to the bro, bleep that out again, please. Timestamp that.
Did you start like at the end of every consult, call them like on the spot just to make sure they're fine with it.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna start though.
You better.
I'm gonna start now.
You can catch me slipping again, boy.
Yeah. But like, obviously, it's like when you first start off, there's so much things that like take a hit to your like self-confidence and stuff. Like
Facts.
you take it personally when they don't sign up.
Yeah.
You know, when they say, nah, I don't want to sign up, or I don't sign up. Even if it is the fact of like, oh, I just can't afford it right now.
Yep.
There is ways to navigate that. And again, coming back to the same thing, it's about how you position your value.
Yep.
You know, it's how you go about that. But getting a mentor, if I could run it back, I guess I probably did. I just had a free one. And lucky enough, I had the mindset to grind because I had no money. There's nothing like having to grind when you don't have any money.
Yeah. Same as me. It sounds weird, like two people that never had a mentor talking to you about getting a mentor and trying to offer it.
I could have, if I had me, I could have circumvented like so many problems that I had along the way, and I could have been making more money faster.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was meaning. Like, I didn't have a mentor either. I was in a pretty competitive gym to begin with, to be honest, when I first came out. So it was literally like grind or die sort of situation. Like, you're either going to make it or you're not. And just like switched my motivation or my mentality that I had with hoops back in the day to like, damn, you got to start a business, bro. Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah, it's you.
Like, set it up. Like, set it up. Get it going.
No one's coming in. It's just you.
Yeah, I had like, to be fair, I was very lucky. I had great owners. A couple of the greatest owners I've ever had the privilege of knowing. Great men that have helped me out in a lot of ways and steered me in the right direction and gave me like numerous amounts of opportunities. But that helped me. They were the people that helped me, like just the way they would talk to me and I'd ask questions and they'd answer them, and the opportunities they gave me. Like, I was assistant managing a 9-round boxing gym at the time, just like secondary income, just to like get my feet set. And then it all kind of just like snowballed. To be fair, I also thank my work colleagues at the time, even though it was very competitive at the start. And I mean, it was like dog eat dog world, and maybe we didn't talk that much. I have great relationships with the two guys I first started working with. So Andrew Brown, who works with us now at Flex, and Michael Arps.
Great PT.
Michael Arps, who also is like a great dude, great guy. I run numbers for him at his powerlifting comps, and like, we get along really well, and I love to like go help him out for sure. Great dudes. I think to an extent, even though it was very, very, very competitive when I first got into the industry, our gym was doing well, so there was still leads coming in. It made me be like a dog, low-key. It made me like find like that person. Like, if I went into a chilled situation, I probably would have chilled for a longer period of time.
But even still, like, you go into the environment, you're going to grind. But at the end of the day, if you're getting the leads and you're not converting them, you're still hungry. Like, you still don't have money. So it's like, if that isn't enough to like make you grind or like make you put your head down, I don't know what's going to.
Yeah, I bought a one-way ticket to Christchurch, and 2 months before I started my job, and I was like running out of money.
Yeah,
like I had a job lined up with one of my boys, being a road worker, because like, just in case.
That was my mindset too. Like, at the end of the day, if this flops, I have no qualms with getting like some shitty like labor job.
Fact.
Not like to say that working labor is like shitty, but it's just not for me.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
It's just not what I want to be doing. Like, but I have no qualms to just like jump on a spade. Yeah. And if that's how I got to get it, I got to get it. I'll figure this out later.
Yeah, legit. You know? I was just hoops bought the connections for me down here, which like gave me all the opportunities, gave me my job interviews, and like met guys that were willing to help me out when I first moved here, which I'm forever thankful for. All my friends and people, you know who you are. But yeah, like I still isolated myself inside my mind so that I knew that I'm either working and grinding and getting it done, or I'm not. And I didn't want to go back to that small town stuff. So I was like, it was pretty motivating for sure.
Yeah.
Two dudes that shouldn't have made it.
Not supposed to. It's not supposed to.
We're supposed to talk about it, are we?
Nah. And that's just the craziest part. For me, studying in Dunedin, I did 4 years of study. I did a dip. I did a PT dip. That's when they were running the 2-year PT diploma, which was like purely 2 years of becoming a PT, teaching how to become a PT. And don't get me wrong, there's some like good stuff in there, but it's not run by. Our lecturers weren't current PTs, eh? You know, they weren't
My
current PTs working in the
My
in the
situation
industry.
was probably better, which is probably why I came out of my qualification a little bit better prepared. Also, guess these two people were part of my mentorship too. Like, I didn't have a mentor, but they were two dudes I had very good relationships with. One of my best friends' uncles, who was a CrossFit coach
Who?
at the time
Who?
in New Plymouth.
What's his name?
It is Shane Wallace Hoskin.
You just made that up.
No, it's actually his
You
name.
definitely just made that up.
No, it's actually his name.
Shane Johnson.
But he was coaching CrossFit at the time, but he coaches like Taekwondo or something as well.
Yeah.
And then the other mentor I had, who was my tutor at the time, was Kieran, and we had hooped together, and he had been a PT for a very, very long time and was looking at other routes in the industry, like teaching and then maybe getting into physio and stuff. So I was, in my circumstance specifically, I was very lucky that I had two very fresh out of in the industry people telling me the ways. And like Shane's telling me after I've done my first like part of my qualification, my like in-person stuff, he was like, you'd be real good at this. And I'm like, I don't want to be a PT. I don't want to be a PT.
Yeah,
I'm a hooper.
yeah.
I'm a hooper.
Well,
Do you know what I
I
mean?
wasn't even too sure what I was going to do. Like, especially after I finished my degree, it's a broad degree, so you could go into like many different things. But I was coaching at a CrossFit gym, like while I was studying. So like, you get forced into developing these like soft skills, eh? And then like these hard skills, cueing people's movements and things like that, like very specific PT things. So it's like, I have this just something that comes natural or easy to me now because I've been doing it for 3 years. And it's like, if this is the launching pad that I gotta like go to like PT and Christchurch and then figure it after that, then cool. But luckily it worked out. You learn your value. Again, I learned my value, like where it's at, like tangible things that are my values, that are valuable to other people that I possess. And you just learn how to position those things there. Position yourself in a way that you can expose people to those values.
And to be honest, if I'm completely honest, in those early stages, if you're still trying to figure all this out and you need a bit of guidance, just like faking it till you make it, but just make sure you get there quick. Yeah. Because it is competitive.
Yeah, it's like fake it till you make it, but it's like, man, like learn from it, eh? Like, if your time management is just like super trash, like maybe the industry you came from beforehand was like super lax on start times and things like that. That is just not how PTs operate. Like you're 10 minutes early or you're late, bro.
Yeah. You have to be. You have to be.
Yeah. Like if your client is in the gym before you, that just like tells them something straight off the bat, even though they might be chill with it, they might not even care.
Yeah.
But personally, you have to know that time management, because someone is literally paying you from 5:30 a.m. till 6 a.m. Like someone is literally paying you by the minute. If you're a minute late, that's on you.
Facts.
As always, that concludes our topic of values. If you learn better off a little bit more structure, there is going to be a document and a module set up for you guys to download for free that goes into like very detailed things about learning your values and how to do so with some tangible things and an exercise you can go through to figure that stuff out. We are in the process of taking on maybe 1 or 2 PTs underneath our belt to mentor over this next coming year. There's one, I think I have 1 slot. Have you got?
I've already got 1, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But would have to conversate about it all. I just have to make sure it's going to work time-wise and all these things. I want to make sure that if I'm going to get 2 people on board, you guys are all getting the same experience. So.
Yeah, 100%. We are going to take you guys from this thing we've done right now. Obviously, we'll have a sit down before that, figure out where you're at. But we're going to teach you your values and every step leading into your first sale and retention of your clients. There is a process. This today was a little bit more of a casual conversation about that topic, which we hope kind of you guys got some good info out of. There is definitely a few gems in there. And yeah, that's today. I'm Marcus. This is Derek.
What up? Appreciate it.
At the end of every ep or during our podcast, we are going to do a what's on the feet. I just find that whatever's on your feet tells a lot about whoever you are. There's always a story behind the shoe that you have on, whether that's I bought these shoes for $3,000 or these are my Birkenstocks out of my basic bitch. There's always a story. So run that. Thank you.
Chart.
Through a tertiary institute, hold a brother, sister who did it so. You ain't if you ain't in a living room.